so that we can enjoy the morning. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Susan Mathieu. Thank you.
Everybody get up and dance. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's early in the morning. Okay, can you hear me okay? Okay, June. Okay. Got my good assistant here. I want to give you a little bit of information about my background. I worked for many, many years in child abuse prevention and treatment, and worked with teen moms, which I feel is the most difficult area I've ever worked in my whole life. I've worked with gangs, male gangs. I still thought the teen moms, because you're dealing with moms that are about 13, 14 years old that have their own obstacles, plus the little ones. But I utilized therapeutic recreation with them, and it worked. When they would go into a parenting class, they would talk, and the teacher was constantly asking them to be quiet, turn around, you're going to get written up, because they were all in treatment. What I did was took the curriculum from the parenting class and incorporated it into a party, where I would have games with information they needed to know about developmental stages, what to do with a cranky baby, but it was in the form of games. Just like any of you as teenagers, you're not going to, many of you wouldn't want to sit there and listen to someone talk at you. You'd much rather get into the mode of playing. And that's what actually therapeutic recreation is all about. It's about finding other ways to improve or change behavior. We also deal with individuals with physical disabilities. My specialty is in mental health. And so I have chosen to take all my years of recreation. I worked here as a camp counselor at the Jewish Community Center all through high school and part of college. And I got the game part of it and the activity part of it together. And then to combine it with clinical knowledge and what the issues are has been just tremendous. I see now, as some of you who are gaining in years, we see now the success of working with some of our kids and teenagers. They now are having families. We see what has worked. They call us back. I still hear from some of the kids when I worked for 7, 8 years at Cedar House, if any of you remember Cedar House. And I was director of the children's program there and worked with families using many of the activities that you're going to see today. I feel it's successful. I've tested it. I work a lot with a ChildNet. Anyone here? I didn't hear anyone here from ChildNet. Oh, okay. You've heard of it, though. And working with adolescent males there in residential treatment. At first, we were blowing up some balloons, and they were walking down the hall and said, "Wow, is there a party going on?" And right away, when they saw the colorful balloons, they associated it with party. And these are very, very difficult individuals to work with. And then I found that the staff were more resistant in many of the residential treatment facilities than the children and teens. They said, "This isn't going to work with our kids." And I said, "Yes, I've tried it for about 10 years and it does work. But you have to believe in it." And I'm telling you that because if any of you bring back some of these activities, they'll go, "Wow, that's fun, but what does it do?" Just like I read this morning in the Chronicle for Higher Education about a long-term study that they've done with women in sports. I don't know if any of you know about this study, but it's one of the first of its kind that young girls that participate in high school sports are more likely to finish college than those who did not. And there's statistics to prove it. And why is that so? Well, through sports and activity, they feel better about themselves, gain confidence. Some of their other issues that they feel they're weak in, some of their, they work on their strengths. And so there's a lot of information about that. And this is over working with thousands and thousands of young people, young women. I see the same thing with therapeutic recreation, is first the leadership. You have to care about people. You have to respect them. So if any of you are cranky and get stressed out easily, then these aren't going to work. I could hand you a booklet and say, here's the activities. But unless you have that connection with the individual, then they're not going to believe or trust you. It's just like the therapeutic relationship you have in counseling. Some of them click and some of them don't. So what I do when if many of these you can teach to your volunteers and to some of your entry-level staff or interns, that they have to be able to let go of any kind of stressors and respect them. And I think that's why I've been successful in my work, because I really respect my client. I really respect where they're coming from, and that if we develop a mutual caring relationship, then we're going to go a lot further. You see all these crazy things that I've put down. What I'm going to do today is run through some of the activities and have you participate in them, and then we'll talk about what the benefits are. Because in therapeutic recreation, we believe that we have foreseen outcomes, we know what our objectives are going to be, and then from our outcome, we can design even a better. So if I'm dealing with an issue of depression, which 99.9% of the kids I've worked with experience depression, then I'm going to develop an activity that will help them express themselves, not only express their sadness, but be able to look beyond that. And it may be just having children participate in a fun activity, being able to have fun. But I don't see this as diversionary. And that's one great finding of that study, is people have said that high school sports are diversionary and we should be doing other things. And then when we see young women graduating from high school, and my two sons were all in varsity sports, and I was not an advocate of it. I didn't like the coaches, I didn't like, oh, this is tape. And I just thought I didn't like some of the things that they were asked to do. But we're talking about in women's sports and where they have come. And even though I'm not a real sports person, I understand where they're going with this. Okay, and that my activities are not diversionary. The first thing I want you to do is pull out the slip of paper with the flashlight on it. And hopefully there's some on the table if you didn't get one. Can I hold yours up? Okay, in order to have a fun activity, you've got to be fun. I see 98% of the people in this room right now smiling. The 2% that are not smiling, after you wake up, you'll come around, and what I tell my students is, it's not how good you are when things are going well with you and your client. I'll use client as a generic term for participant or a patient. It's when things are stressful that you see really how good you are. It's when things are stressful and they're challenged, just like how many of you are parents or grandparents. You know you're a great parent when your kids are acting in the way, I don't want to say good or bad, but when they're acting, you know, just fine. But we test ourselves when the children challenge us. So the same thing here is no grown-ups allowed. Everyone starts out with a Funlight. Some continue to beam brightly. Some let it dim with time and responsibilities. Time and responsibilities. If I'm a 14-year-old and I've just had a great life, and then my mom marries somebody that abuses me, my light starts to dim. And unless I have people in my life that help me work through that, I have to find, quote, my Funlight. Where's my Funlight? Or if some of you have gone through traumatic divorces, loss of parents, your light dims. And using this metaphor, we think that that's just what it's all about. If you're here thinking and breathing, you're going to have some hard times in your life. So what I've done is I bought each of you a flashlight here. And some of you can put it on your keychain, or some of you can hang it up. And I want you to think about when you have difficult times, your light is off. But when you flash that light, when you turn it back on, you have some control of how you feel, your attitude. Now, how does this work with kids? Well, if we look at that as they're overwhelmed with all of the problems, women who have been hurt by their friends, spouses, boyfriends, they can't see the light at the end of the road. With financial difficulties, what am I going to do? But when I use this metaphor, and we're not just talking about, hey, let's go out and have fun, let's go have a good time. I'm talking about the smiling, the part within you that has that shining light. And where can we go? What are the steps it takes to get there? And what I like to do is give reminders. Give reminders just like this light. And any of these activities I would love for you to use. I'm the type of trainer here or presenter that if you use it and you copy it verbatim, I'm thrilled about it. So you can use all of this. Moving along, you have a rainbow here. Oh, where did I get those? I got them at U.S. Toy Company. Get off Garden Grove Freeway on Harbor, make a right on Garden Grove Boulevard. And they're online. You can order online too. I like to see and touch everything. Oriental Trading Company is a little less expensive, but sometimes, you know, this works. But I spend a lot of time there. We look at, if you don't have a marker, here's one that you could borrow. And I want you to think about your sunshine, rainbows, and cloudy days. What would make a rainbow today out of something in your life that's cloudy? Cloudy, if you don't understand, some of you may like clouds, and that's not a great metaphor. Cloudy, maybe something that's bringing you down, some negative person, some negative problem in your life. Write down on the cloud what would help with the one, think of it as a stressor. What would change? What would change? And if you can write that down right here. For me, my stressor right now is I wrote a couple articles for journals. And in my line of work, we need to publish. And I would be totally happy if I heard back from the journals and they said, they're great. Few revisions. And that's a little bit on my mind right now. So to hear back for maybe one of my sons, maybe there's a behavior area that I'd like to see changed. So if everyone can write that down, and I also, you can buy these. They're for the bulletin board, and use any theme possible. And use that if you're running a group. When I worked with Daughters and Sons United for many, many years, we would, instead of writing letters on typical paper, like write a letter to, I would use different forms of artwork and background because it removes the fear from that direct contact, and you therapists know, just like play therapy. So is there anyone who would like to share something that they wrote? Yes, if you can say your name again.
Mercedes. I guess not having enough time to do everything that's on the plate Thursday. And then having to prioritize and move everything for the next day, and then that's twice as much that I have to carry with.
Fantastic. Let's give her a big hand. And this is a happy beach ball that you could remember for sharing. I do appreciate it. Okay. If any of you are comfortable with moving around, we're going to do that. I'm going to put on some music. And I put on some music that I think that you'll enjoy. And then once you get up, I'm going to give you, that's on the first one, give you a task to accomplish. Everybody ready to get up? Music on. Perfect.
I'm letting in the sunshine. It's shining everywhere.
I want you to go up to one person that you don't know and become two. Make a partner of somebody you do not know and stand with them right now. You have 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now, I would like you to find something that you have in common with them that doesn't have to do with anything you're wearing or being female or male, something you have to ask about. Find something in common. Huh?
I don't have a partner.
Oh, I'll be your partner.
Can I straighten you up?
Oh, please. Is this thing is just...
I don't. Okay, there we go.
Good. Thank you.
It keeps falling to the side.
Because of this heavy...
Yeah, there we go.
They'll look great in the... We have in common.
We both have kids.
We both have kids.
How old are your kids?
19 and 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where are they?
One's at Long Beach State. He's going to start his 3rd year, and then the other one is at University of Arizona. He just finished his
I
1st
have
year.
a friend whose son is just starting there in September
Oh,
at University of Arizona. Good
Well,
friend, Jewish guy from Orange County.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. All the kids from the
Apparently it's a
temple.
very Jewish.
Yeah, half his fraternity is Jewish. Hey, the 2 of you join with 2 more, and there'll be 4 in a group. There'll be 4 in a group, so you can join. Yeah, just join. It could be 4 or 5. Yeah, you can join. 4 or 6 is good. 4 or 6.
Hold on. We're looking for...
We're looking for...
We're good, too.
Here we go.
Okay. All right, should I join there?
Yeah. Now find something that all of you have in common. Something that you all have in common. It could be, the group can be 4 or 6. Okay. What I'm going to do is point to a group, and one person will yell out so that we can get it on film, the one thing you have in common. Let's start with this group right here.
We work with disadvantaged families.
They work with disadvantaged families. Next.
We're all parents.
You're all parents in this group. Next group.
We all have daughters.
Oh, all daughters in this group. Okay.
Travel.
You all like to travel?
And read.
And read. Do all of you like to read?
Yes.
Very, very good. Okay.
Good morning. We care about people with special needs.
Care about people with special needs. What a group here. Next.
We all had a hard time getting up this morning.
You all had a hard time. I love it. How many had a hard time getting up this morning? Okay. Every day. Yes.
We're therapists.
All therapists right here. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Did I do this group?
We all don't have kids.
No kids here. Look, they're not aggravated. Okay. Okay, over here.
Our connection is to Memorial Hospital. We each had an experience here.
You each had an experience at Memorial Hospital. Me too. I shut out. Okay, next.
We all live in Long Beach.
Long Beach residents here. Who have I skipped? Did I skip any group? Okay. And then what I continue to do, and I'm giving you the cliff notes of this activity, is our groups get larger and larger. I've done this with 500 people in a group, and they all cooperated, believe it or not. I had a blowhorn then. This is much easier. And I've done this with former gang members to find tolerance among each other. I have done this with children as young as 7 or 8 years old, that they find something that they have in common. And the conclusions we draw from this activity are very obvious when we live in a society that could be a little more tolerant of differences. And you do one thing different and you get teased. The kids that many of you work with, as you know, are set up for failure right away. And so if we can find something that they can relate to another human being, social skills are so important, and social acceptance. Think about a time when someone didn't accept you, when you were rejected. It was horrible, but hopefully most of you here have a support system that you can complain and complain about and get through it. When you don't have a support system, we need to help them get through this. Okay, now, while you're all up, I would love to see a circle over here and a circle over there. So if you could make a circle, just kind of divide up. It doesn't have to be equal. No, you don't have to use a hula hoop. We're not going to be wiggling our hips here. When you get into age groups that they do not want to hold hands, what I've done is just given them a sock. So we have old socks in between one another so that they don't have to hold hands, because you want to eliminate as many problems as possible. Many of the clients we work with have issues about their body and body image. So this helps if I can get this in here and hold hands again. And if I can get this in here. And you're going to get the hula hoop all the way around the circle without letting go. And what's interesting about doing this with children and teens is you don't even need to compete. They work as a team, and you try and beat your own record. And I've done this with as few as 6 children. If we can get this together, if we can get this together, and you're going to go like this. If any of you have bad backs or hips, have a seat. Okay, but it's very gentle. When you hear the music, you're going to try and get both hula hoops around the circle. Let's go. Oh, I was hoping Judy would come today. What time is it? Okay, I'll keep it. Okay, you're all relieved. Come and sit down. Everybody can have a seat now. Leave the hula hoops. Have a seat. Please clap back to your seat. Okay. I'm sorry, I screwed up. Oh, no, put it on pause. Fantastic. Now that you're all hot and sweaty. Did you like that one? That's really fun, and I've really done it with all age groups, and we're working on cooperation. When I have studied, I wrote my dissertation about adolescent males in child abuse treatment facilities, residential child abuse treatment facilities. I studied happy families. Happy families. And what I found with happy families is happy families enjoy playing together. Happy families have traditions. Any of you have traditions in your family where maybe on a birthday you would be able to have, like I know with my sons, on their birthday they got to make their own cake from when they were 2 years up to about, when they turned about 12, they said, go buy us a cake. But they enjoyed decorating it with gummy worms and all the funny things, and we had a good time. So we look at that, and we look at happy families that are able to communicate and play together. And so what I'm trying to do in some of these activities is learn to really play together. Another fun activity, pull out the sheet with who is this? Who's that guy, generically? You can do this for any age, and this encourages communication, talking about that person, and maybe on number 6, it's someone that you really want to talk about that has some issues or has some of the similar, I would not say issues, but maybe something that they have in common that you are able to talk about, but I do it as a game. Number 1, don't say who it is, but write down who number 1 is if you can. Number 1. And if you don't know, it's okay. Okay? Number 2. Who's number 2? Or what movie it's from. Number 3. Number 4. Oh.
We didn't see number 3.
Oh, you didn't see number 3? Number 4. Sorry. 4. Number 5. This is small, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a vision test. Here you go. True colors, true colors, true colors. It's okay if you... Number 6.
Wait, what was number 5?
5. And 6 is very small. It is what's his face?
Oh, that's okay. Yes. What is it?
Oh, try over here at number 6.
And the purpose of this, oh, sorry,
Okay, wait, stop.
is to give you an idea. Number 7. I said this one would show our age. Yeah, and not knowing the other ones. I had a friend put these together for me, and she goes, "Do you mind if they're all really, really easy?" And I said, "Sure," and she gave me the test, and I got 2 out of them. So I said, you know, what we think, you know, with this, the whole purpose here is for you to know how, is to get the activity. And the last one, 8, and you can pick either one if you know who either one is.
Can we go back to number 1? Can we have a start over?
Yeah, of course.
I still don't know. Oh,
You still Republican? Okay. Is there anyone here who got them all right?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
Number 5.
Yeah, you.
Is it
5.
Christine Aguilar?
Who was number 5? Cindy Lauper. Blondie. That's close. That's close. If you were working with very young children that were not real communicant with you and seemed to be guarded, withdrawn, this is one way in playing it as a game, is you get 2 or 3 characters from Saturday morning cartoons. Better yet, which I say with some reluctancy, commercial characters. They know commercials better than they know some of the cartoon characters. Or I have a whole series I do with grade school age, and probably for some of you on Harry Potter. And it is so much fun to be able to get these out and talk about the different people. We've done this as role play when I worked with 16, 17-year-old young men, and they picked someone that they would have a conversation with, and we videotaped that, and they were able to watch. We've been able to use these to say someone that you believe is the complete opposite of you, and why. So it starts out as a game, but in therapeutic recreation, we kind of move things around to make it a little more fun. I want you to go to the other sheet in your paper, and this is all about you and your ability to create that kind of respectful environment that I was talking about. So if you can take a minute or so to let us know, I won't make you share if you don't want to, how you build rapport. When you think about it, how you build rapport with your clients, how you demonstrate fairness, and the habits you're going to break. I use this with staff I work with. I use this with other professors. I use this with young children. And sometimes I change the wording to make it a little more understandable. But it's a great one for your staff and volunteers. So I've used to be responsible for a very large volunteer program, and you can fire volunteers. I don't know if any of you have before, but you can when the expectations have not been met and they've been, you know, behaving in a way that's not acceptable. And so in order to let your expectations be known, this is a good worksheet that I like to do. I'll give you just a minute. And anything you'd like, I have my email on there. If you want more information, I would be happy to share it with you. Because I just brought very few activities, or any questions you have, or any responses if this is something that you want to learn a little bit more about. Okay, I'd like one person to let us know how they build rapport. One person. Yes?
Okay. With a smile.
Can you say a little bit louder?
With a smile, sincerity, and listening and respect.
Thank you. How you demonstrate fairness, if there's a way that you have found to demonstrate fairness among your clients or in life. Yes? Did I see a hand up?
I collaborate on making rules and even goals, and I mind the rules myself and try to be flexible.
Mind the rules herself, tries to be flexible, and collaborate. And you know, in team management, from the largest businesses in our country to the some of the small nonprofits, if you ask people what is important to them, or what rules are important, or what they'd like to do, they are more likely to participate. They're more likely to stay if they're an employee. They're more likely to have a positive attitude. So very, very, very important point. And I want someone to tell us a deep, dark secret, but not too secret, of a habit that they're going to break. A habit that they'd like to break.
Like to or going to?
Oh, going to. Yes, your hand went up first.
Just feeling like you have to do everything all at once, because I feel like I have so many things to do. I got to do it right now, this minute, like get it all done. That's a really bad habit of mine. I'll come in early, I'll leave late, and that's just crazy. And
Yes.
I do that at home and at work. Like I get home and do everything I can think of because I can't sleep.
What we might do if someone said that in the group is, next step, as you all know, is how are you going to accomplish that? What are the steps you're going to take? There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Are there any, I don't have any more happy beach balls, but is there anyone else who has a habit they're going to break? Would you like to share? Oh, yes.
Okay, I want to give myself a goal and work towards it and really work.
You want to work towards a goal?
Right.
And right now you're
Set
not?
up realistic goals.
Oh, realistic goals. So I'm sure you have plenty of goals, but realistic goals. Very good. Anyone else? Yes? Yeah, turning off the alarm.
I just want to get up and go.
Do you turn it on earlier than you need to get up?
So
Yeah.
I already know.
So you're already playing that wonderful game with yourself. I play this game is I have different values here that are important. To be happy in all that I do, to be at ease with other people, to be romantic, to have many friends, to be my perfect weight. And what I do, I probably would pull out the one to be romantic, but I think I did this with adults. But I give everyone a different value. And they go around the group and they try and convince another individual that they would like their value, that they want that value more. Like if someone who did not have a weight issue got this one, and someone who came over that's been trying for the last 40 years to lose weight, they would change to be an effective leader, to be wise. Would you rather be wise or be your perfect weight? A lot of unwise, thin people. That's a hard one, I know. So I wanted to let you know about this one as we're winding down on the minutes. Can I have about 5 volunteers come up real quick? Thank you. Let's see, Jaeun, everyone with a J, Judy. Okay, this is good. Okay. What I like to do is this called group juggling. And what we're going to do is, can you tell me your name?
Linda.
Linda.
Jaeun.
Judy. Judy, and I'm Susan. What we're going to do is, we're in a circle here, and I'm going to do, Linda, give it back to me, and you say Susan.
Susan.
Linda.
Susan.
Okay, Jaeun.
Susan.
Judy.
Susan.
Okay, we're going to continue this, and I'm going to begin the juggling act. Why don't we come over here so everybody can see the juggling act by saying, adding another kush. Okay, Linda.
Susan.
Jaeun.
Susan.
Judy.
Okay, Linda.
Susan.
Jaeun. Linda.
Susan.
See, and if you have 10 people, you can continue to go and you have to concentrate. How many of you ever worked with anyone with ADD? Depression, where you have a hard time focusing? And what we do is we start with one, and through being physical and focusing, we have found the relationship with being able to focus on a game and taking that into reading a book, focusing on a conversation. But it's a fun way. I probably needed about 10 people to make it effective to show you the juggling. But it's just saying the name and back and forth, and the leader continues to add it to the group. My favorite, I'd say about 15 people is a good one for this. As few as 6, and maybe you just have 2 kush balls. And all of these, you know, you can get at some of the discount stores. Yes?
How many cushions do you have with 15 people?
3.
3.
3. Okay. How am I doing on time? Do we have like 1 more minute kind of thing?
We've got 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Very, very good. Okay. In your lives, you've done a lot of things. You've professionally, some of you have had a lot more education than others. Some of you have been successful in relationships. Some haven't. Some have been successful in changing the world, one person at a time. What I want to know is, with your marker or pen, I want to know what you deserve an award for, because you all deserve an award. And there's a sheet here that says, I deserve an award for. Now think about it, what you deserve an award for, because maybe terrible things have happened, but something good. Okay. Anyone on this table want to tell us what you deserve an award for? Want to stand up and shout it out? Okay.
I'm a good mom.
A good mom. Let's give her a hand. And that's not easy. Anyone at this table? Yes.
I had my son, daughter-in-law, 5 children, and a dog living with me for 2 years.
Deserve an award! Woo! More.
Does everybody know who the daughter-in-law is? We moved into our house yesterday.
Oh, so kind. Anyone deserve an award for anything on this table? Yes, Judy.
For volunteerism.
Volunteerism! How many of you have ever volunteered? And if you think of the hours on your job after your paycheck, how many of you volunteer? Woo! That's a lot of fun. So what I do sometimes is order those medals, you know, on the ribbon, gold Olympic type of thing. And if someone has shared, I will place it around their neck and that they deserve an award. The more shtick you have, and that's all I can call it, I think the better off you are. They can even make their own if you get into the arts and crafts. When I worked with the camp counselors of a camp with kids that had special needs, we talked about how we can turn all of these activities, and I did different ones for a camp setting, but how we can turn those activities into crafts and theater, some of the creative arts. We use a lot of instruments that time doesn't allow me to do today. But what I want to do with you is to give you just a smorgasbord of activities and be creative yourself, is to find things that will help you relate when it's not as threatening as you asking a direct question. You have to find your, I don't like to say, you know, the thing for many years was find the child within. Be playful. And if you're not playful in your own time, if you're serious, then it's going to be very difficult to turn it on. You know that the children see right through you. I've got both of my sons working at camps this summer. One son is at a camp called, have any of you heard of Rowdy Ridge Camp? Yes. Have you ever been up there? Okay, he was a counselor. My son it's one of Paul Newman's foundation, and it's for women and children, women, domestic violence, and their children and even babies. They have concurrent camp programming going on for the moms, for the babies, and then for the school-aged children. And I have a son, my son that's 20 is there. It's his 3rd year working there. And it really gave them insight to how people need to play. And not to force them, but to involve them. And he's gotten such neat notes back on what, and this is just a young man just getting these neat notes from the moms and how the 1 week of recreation really help change their lives and inspire them. And every week a different agency brings up a group of people. The headquarters is in Torrance, so if any of you want to look in there, they're on the web. See my son smiling. And then the other son, my baby who's 19, is working at a day camp. And this is, as he says, for, you know, really nice but spoiled children in the South Bay. Oh, I shouldn't. I keep forgetting I'm on film. And what he has found is using some of these activities with children who have everything and are used to getting their needs met immediately, no pain for those children, that they really learn how to get along, and the group activities are tremendous in helping them build camaraderie. And just like when I've been involved in programs like this, the problems he's having is with the parents. Parents coming in with different demands, where my other son, he's never mentioned a problem with the parents. That's up at the camp. And so it's a very interesting statement in those small little groups of society here, you know, with the demands. So what I want to leave you with is it's time to take out your kazoo. Does everyone have one? Now, I want to give a quick kazoo lesson. The mouthpiece is the larger one. Please hum. Hum. No, you're blowing. I said hum. Hum. Who is having, do you need a kazoo? I've always wanted to say this. I have kazoos up the kazoo. Here you go. I guess it wasn't that funny. Please stand up. Thank you. Wrong one. Okay. I'll point to you and it's your turn. Now wiggle. Okay, now really put into it. Well, I want to compliment you on your efforts. Can everybody sit down, please? Thank you very much. I enjoyed being with you today.